everyone, I'm Lando, and many of you have not been at school much recently, so I've asked some of my team here at McLaren to teach you some of the things that I learnt and we learnt that help us go racing today. So I'll begin by saying, I'm Lando Norris, and today I'm your substitute teacher. With me, I've got a very special guest, my trainer, Jon, who I've worked with for way too long. But here he is, he's here to help me with introducing you to some of the foods.
I'm Jon, and today our lesson is about how we use different foods to fuel Lando's body when he's racing. So we have two separate things, macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are larger quantities of nutrients that we need in our diet. So we're going to start with carbohydrates.
Okay.
Carbohydrates are really important for giving us energy to do physical work and mental work. Can you point out carbohydrate?
Bread.
Good.
Rice. Oats. Pasta.
Good, well done. These are starch-based carbohydrates. These are good for giving us lots of energy, but not affecting our blood glucose. We have other types of carbohydrates, which are sugars. Can you point out some sugars?
Bananas. Fruit-based drinks.
Fruit juice, yeah.
Blueberries. Chocolates and sweets.
So during the Grand Prix, you'll burn around 150 grams of carbohydrate per hour and 800 calories per hour. So over an Austrian Grand Prix, how long's that, 90 minutes? How many grams of carbohydrate is that?
Maths, yeah. Okay, so that's 75 plus 150. So it's 225.
Good, which means we're going to need a lot of these starchy foods first before we go racing. However, sugars are not always bad. When we're going between sessions or even in the car, it can be really useful to have sugars to replenish fuel quickly. But we can be smart and use sugars like fruit juices that also have vitamins and minerals in. Okay, so the next one we're going to speak about are protein. Can you point out protein?
That bad boy.
So protein is made up of amino acids and are the building blocks of every cell in your body.
Okay.
So your muscles, your skin, everything relies on protein to repair it and help it grow. Okay, so every time you go around a corner and it's high G-force, where do you feel it?
My neck.
In your neck, good. So every time you have to produce a lot of force and your muscles contract, it damages them.
Okay.
If we don't use protein to replace the building blocks within those muscles, it won't repair. So then by Sunday, when it's really important,
It'll be weaker.
Exactly. So the last macronutrient we're going to talk about are fats.
Okay.
Fats usually get misunderstood, they get a bad rap.
Yeah.
But there are two types of fats. We have saturated and unsaturated. Unsaturated fats are really good for you.
Okay.
Can you point out some fats? Any other forms of fat only on the table?
Well, you got a bit of fish, some nuts, and olive oil.
Yeah, that's good, we've got a range there. So unsaturated fats are really important because they protect every cell in your body. It's also really important for some of the vitamins that you need in your diet as well. Vitamin A, D, E and K. Without fat, you won't be able to use them.
Okay.
When are fats really important over a race weekend?
Before the race? After the race?
Both. So fats will really help with cognitive function, reaction time. You're under a lot of stress.
Do I need them all the time?
Unsaturated fats are always needed.
What is the best thing to eat before a race?
Thank you very much for your questions. What's the best thing to have before a race? Now, normally before a race, I have a bowl of pasta, a chicken tortilla wrap, also a lot of water.
We use pasta and tortillas that are heavy in rice to try and get carbohydrates in before the race. So we know that Lando is full of energy. Also, carbohydrates are really important for maintaining hydration. So with more carbohydrates, we'll be able to hold on to more water. Micronutrients, we need less of them in our diet, that's why they're micronutrients, but they are just as important to making sure that you can use all of the energy from your macronutrients and your body stays healthy.
Okay.
Can you point out some foods that will be rich in micronutrients?
Fruits, raspberries, blueberries.
Yep.
Fruit juice.
Good, well done. The next thing to go with those micronutrients that are really important are water. Every cell in your body contains water. Without water, those cells can't function, they die. Really important. Also, without water, you can't circulate all of the food, all of the macro and micronutrients you've eaten won't be able to get to where they need to go. It's a bit like the team prepping the car in the garage and then putting no tyres on.
That's an issue.
Yes, issue. During a race, you will actually sweat about this amount of water.
2 litres.
Nearly 2 litres. While we're on the subject of micronutrients, we can use one really well to help you retain water, which is
Salt. Sodium.
sodium. Good.
John's always having to come up with new meals for me and create all these fancy foods. But now it's your turn. Your homework is to come up with a meal and a recipe for me to use before the race. Now you're going to need to include all the things I need for hydration and all the things I need for energy.
Lando's last meal before he goes into the race car needs to be around 60 grams of carbohydrate, low in fat and under 700 calories. Please help me.
To send in your recipes via Twitter or Instagram, make sure to use the hashtag McLaren Substitute Teacher for your chance to win a Dell XPS laptop. Now good luck, and we'll be back later in the week to choose my favourite recipe.